Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about my favorite definition of happiness. Happiness, what does it mean? This is kind of a hot topic word. How do I become happy all the time? I think two key words are going to play throughout the episode that you're going to hear a lot. Events that go on our lives. We can also think of this as moments, possibly just a moment in time. And additionally, expectations will be other keywords. So events and expectations and trying to find the alignment between the two. We'll have plenty of other examples of what happiness isn't and how can we set ourselves up for success. Happy Friday, everyone. Enjoy the show. It's going to be a good one. Cheers. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to an episode of the Talk to Darren Morning Show, where we go over tips, tricks, ideas, and exercises that'll make you the absolute best person you can be, not only for yourself, but for the people you love and care about most. Thanks for tuning in this morning, all love folks, on this fantastic Friday. Before we get to the board, we're going to go over some definitions, some newfound definitions. I think we can say I've heard quite a bit on this word happiness. I'm sure you as well, reading a lot of self-help books, watching podcasts, listening to just watching videos or anything. You hear this word happiness come up all the time. If I could just be happy all the time, I would be happy. Like, how do you even say that? It doesn't roll off the tongue perfectly, but good morning, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Maybe you're grabbing your coffee. Maybe you're getting your to-do lists out. I was going over notes, and I was really trying to hit this one out of the park. And it's funny to me that as you go up this chain, maybe we can draw this out on the board a little bit. It seems like a couple terms that I wanted to bring up. Complexity, so complex and simple. So when we start off, we're say this is our home base. We're learning something new. We're learning whatever. This is the absolute start of it. I would say that we would be simple-minded. We would be simple-minded. But then as we go up the curve and we start getting smarter, we start understanding topics better, we start building our skills, we're challenging ourselves, we're starting to go up the curve. It's interesting to me how things start out simple because we don't know what we don't know. But then as we go up the curve, we're adding complexity. Things become more complex. Maybe you're taking on more classes. Maybe you're getting some coaching. Maybe you're working on your marketing. Maybe you're meeting new people. Maybe you're just taking on life. You got a new promotion or whatever. And we're adding complexity along the way. But at the mountaintop, it always seems to be coming back to this simple concept again. Like at the top of the mountain, things are simple. When I learn from people like Dr. Paul Conti, shout out to him, incredible therapist in mind. He's the head of the psychology department over there in Harvard. But he has this idea that at the very top, it's all about peace and being content. And these like very short, simple words. When a lot of my suffering, I feel like, is when I'm caught in this trap of making things more complex than I need to do. Why do I say that? So in our natural state of the mind, what is the natural state of the mind? So I think natural state of mind, the natural mind is chaos. The natural state of mind, and between Carl Jung and Jordan Peterson, Tony Robbins, and a few other people I really like, and learning about the mind, it seems that this continues to come up. The natural mind, the natural state of the mind is chaos. Maybe this is why And gosh, I can't think of the word in Buddhism. It starts with an S, I'm pretty sure, for suffering. Either way. But we talk about in Buddhism, life is suffering, that all things contain suffering. But is that bad? Is pain bad? Depends where it's coming from. If it's coming from an abuser, hell yeah, that'd be absolutely horrible. But if you're going on a run and you start to feel the blood rush into your muscles, you start to feel things like, is that bad? So how does all of this relate to our keyword for today, happiness? I want to be happy all the time, Tanner. How do I do that? When the natural state of the mind is chaos, and it seems like I'm never going to get to the mountaintop of simplicity, enlightenment, whatever, and things are getting more complex. And as they get more complex, things get more chaotic. So what is a good definition of happiness that can help us this morning? Well, I believe this one, need another piece of chalk. I'm writing quite a bit this morning. So this is my favorite definition. Let's just pull this up. We can screen share this. And this was actually, it was a guest off of a Tony Robbins podcast that I was listening to. Let me go ahead and screen share entire screen. How's everyone doing this morning? So happiness. All right, let me kick myself over the corner. Hopefully you guys can see this all right. So happiness equals a moment that you feel life meets or beats your expectations. Happiness is a moment that you feel life meets or beats your expectations. Events and expectations were a couple of the keywords that we highlighted before we started. If you have and you can interchange the words moment and event. We can, I think, assume that each event or each second of life is a moment. And then when that moment meets or beats your expectations, I think this is where happiness lies. If you believe, so I'm going to Chicago this weekend, super excited about it, been ranting about it all week on the show. I get to see some friends I haven't seen in a while. It's going to be a great time. Chicago is awesome for St. Patrick's Day if you haven't done it before. Either way, if I believe, so the weather's been pretty nice. The weather's been pretty good. The weather example is good. So the weather has been pretty nice. And if my expectations are that it's going to be sunny and it's going to be nice, and then if I go to this event, if I go to this city and it rains all day and it doesn't meet my expectations, I will be sad. I will be frustrated. I will be the emotion. I think the key feeling, that word here, that word feel that you see on the screen, a moment that you feel life meets or beats your expectations, because as emotional creatures, we are our feelings, not our thoughts. We are our feelings. The feelings is really what we're experiencing in any given moment. It's the feeling. So the feelings, when we don't meet our expectations, we set these expectations. So when you expect, you're about to get a sales client and you're expecting to close them, you're expecting to make money off of it, and you don't, that the gap between the two is what makes us unhappy. Or say if you have a partner, and you have a family member, or you have a friend, and you expect them to show up to be the way that you want them to be, and then they're not, this will cause us unhappiness. Happens all the time, folks. Happens to me every day. And are we going to be happy? One of my favorite things on here. So let me remove this from my screen real quick. This is from The Happiest Man in the World. It's a Buddhist monk. Something I thought that was really powerful and a message I wanted to share this morning. So this is the happiest man in the world. The happiest man in the world. Happiest man alive. You want to know something crazy about the happiest man alive? He's mad all the time. He's mad all the time. I say that because we're going to get upset. We're going to get frustrated. It's going to happen again. It's going to happen again. I'm getting all over the place. Might have to rewatch some of the video, but another key couple very important words. Words can be very powerful. Words can be very powerful. And when we're mad all the time, I like to think of these two words: frequency, frequent, and duration. Duration. It's not a question if we're going to become unhappy, folks. It's not a question of that. This feeling will come in because there's going to be certain things where we're excited and we're working really hard and we want our events, our moments in life to match our expectations. We want the alignment between the two. But will we always get it? Will we always get it? The answer is no. So when we are unhappy, I think the question is not the frequency, raising awareness to when it's coming in. Oh, unhappiness is coming in. I see what's going on. There's a misalignment between my events and my expectations. I see that. I'm seeing it now. I'm catching it. And the real opportunity, I think, is duration. How long will you be unhappy? Some people, I've caught myself, and sometimes I'm unhappy for about 2 minutes. Sometimes I'm unhappy for about 2 hours. Sometimes people are unhappy for 20 years. Sometimes people are unhappy for their entire life because they don't break the pattern. We have to break the pattern between this misalignment of expectations and events. If we can change our expectations, and it doesn't mean like you just allow. I was talking with somebody the other day when we were breaking down their social media stuff, and they're like, well, should I just let other people walk all over me and then I just don't let anything get you mad? No, you have values, you have principles, you stand up for what you believe in. That's called courage, having courage for ourselves, but being able to recognize awareness, 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 awareness. Say it 1,000 times in your head. Can we bring awareness to the table of the moments, the events, and then what are our expectations for these? Jim Rohn has a really powerful saying, and something he talks about all the time is this idea of improving yourself over everything. Don't worry about making the sale right then, right there that day. Did you get better? Don't worry about having to complete. Rome wasn't built in a day, but are you getting better? Who are you becoming? Question that I want to write down this morning. Good morning, everyone. Hope we're starting off our day on the right foot. So, who are you becoming? If you're becoming the person you want to be, if you're becoming a family man, if you're becoming a good boyfriend, if you're becoming a good father, husband, friend, employee, whatever, who are you becoming? If you can answer this in a positive way, I believe that we have the skills, the talent, and the abilities to reframe our expectations of what it is that we really want. What do we really want? I want to show up. I want to give 100%. It's not the results, the effort that really counts. We hear this cheesy shit all the time. Cliche for a reason. So, who are you becoming? Knowing this, reframing our expectations to the things that we can control and letting go of the things that we can't and knowing the difference between the two. So reframing these expectations that are alignment. My expectations that I'm going to give my best and I'm going to surrender and accept the events that go on and the moments that I can't control. And I believe this is a brilliant, big jumbled concoction for happiness, folks. This is how we get happiness, is when we take a moment And we adjust, we recognize that we feel. I might feel upset about this, but I understand that this other person, I have no idea what's going on with him. I understand that I don't have to feel a certain way, that I have a choice, that I have a choice. Isn't that such a beautiful thing that we have? What I think everyone ever in the universe and history of creatures and beings and all this, all they wanted was choice. Granted, when we don't build this muscle, thinking of, I really like this idea of our brains and making them and treating them more like what we would at a gym. So if you have your brain and you train it and you work it out like your bicep, you're reading, you're writing, you're working with a coach, you're working with a therapist, you're talking to your family members, you're doing all these things, you're getting your brain jacked, you're getting ready to go. You can handle these moments. I think this is going to really help deter when we get off course and we get away from happiness. So training ourselves to get back onto the path of the expectations we've set for ourselves. I'm not going to live that long. So why the hell am I going to waste a bunch of my time getting pissed off about shit that don't matter? It's like, yeah, we say this over and over again, but do we do it? That's the question. That's the question. And so the frequency is going to come up, folks. I'm going to be mad some point today. I'm going to get upset, but for how long? 10 seconds? 10 minutes? So when you get upset today, when something comes up, someone cuts you off in traffic, you lose a client, some coworker says something nasty about you, are you going to be upset? But for how long? It's okay to care. It's okay to feel pain. It's okay to have these feelings and emotions. We are humans, and that's what makes us such beautiful creatures. That's what makes mothers go over the top for their children. That's what makes people create these giant companies that have incredible innovation and technology that raise intelligence, that raises quality of life. That's how all of this stuff blends so beautifully. So the frequency is not in question. That's going to come up. But my question to you is, how long? The duration. Who are you becoming today? Are you becoming a happier person or an unhappy person? I want to show up for the people I love and care about, because this stuff, have you ever heard of the ripple effect? This stuff, it's nuts. Whether it's happiness or unhappiness, this shit spreads like wildfire. Have you ever, so say you got one of your best friends coming in and they're really happy. They have a lot of really good energy. They're really excited and they just turn it all around. They just turn the energy in the space all around. I want you to be that person. I want to be that person. I want to be that person when I go see my friends this weekend. Man, I love it. It's so great to see you. What's up? How's it going on? High energy, just excited to be there. I'm not saying scream in people's faces at me a lunatic, but well, maybe you need to unload a little bit. Who knows? But using these ideas, I believe, can help make happiness not a goal, but a consistent experience, a consistent moment, a feeling that we really enjoy more often, as much as possible, right? We want the good stuff as much as possible, and we want the bad stuff reduced. Talk about this analogy of, I'm going to run a marathon in not 0 minutes and 0 seconds, because that's impossible, but I can reduce my time. I can reduce my time, and we're going to do just that. So we talked about the natural state of the mind is chaos. So can we just surrender and accept to the fact that we're going to be unhappy sometimes, that it's going to be a little frustrating, that this stuff's going to be a little chaotic, that life's chaotic, because it starts simple when we're children. We're pure, we're beautiful, we're simple when we're children. But then stuff starts getting complex. Responsibilities, opportunities create this concoction of chaos along the way. But then we come back to the simple. but we want to train our brains along the way. We want to train our minds to be stronger. When we fail, we get back up. When we fail, we get back up. So happiness is really just this like alignment of your expectations of yourself, of other people, and the moments that we're living in. If you know that the weather doesn't matter, the weather can't make you sad. Whether it's raining or whether it's sunshiny, I'm going to be happy because I'm getting a chance to be around the people I love and care about most. That definition, that expectation changes everything. Because if I said, oh, it has to be sunny, then when it's not sunny and it's windy, because can we control the weather? Can we control our thoughts? No way. No, we can't. And if you know how, please let me know. If you know how to control the weather and control the thoughts, yada, yada, please let me know. I'm open to interpretations, but I'm reframing. I hope you do this too. I'm really working on reframing my expectations to have better moments, and better moments equate to more happiness. Cheers to that, friends. That's all I got for us, folks. Was, let's train our minds, treat it like a muscle. Maybe it's like those chest muscles you're trying to get nice and strong, or strong arms, legs, butt, back, whatever. Treating the brain like the other muscles in the body. You got to train them to get strong. The push-ups of the mind, reading, writing, meditation, all these things. But that's what we had on here. Remember, we get to the mountaintop, and it's actually a lot simpler than we think. Keeping it simple is not a problem. Let me go ahead. I want to get this. I had one other on here. These were just, calm, peaceful, content, just acceptance to what is. Cheers to that, folks. Happiness. Checking in this morning. Are you going to have a good day? Are you going to have a bad day? It turns out the choice is yours. Thanks, folks. That's all I got for today. I'm going to peace out of here. I got some meetings I got to knock out of the park today. Hopefully close some sales and keep rocking and rolling. If you know anyone who needs help with their social media content, editing their profile pages, creating consistent, authentic pinned posts, featured content, writing bios and all that to really show up online as their authentic self consistently, please have them reach out to me. I'm taking on new clients. All right. Bless you all. I hope you guys have an incredible, incredible weekend. I'm peacing out for the weekend. And after I got some work stuff, but once my girlfriend gets home off work, I ain't doing shit. So I'm going to take a break. It's going to be a good day, and love you all. In case you need to hear it, I love you. You're badass. You got this. Let's have an awesome Friday. Cheers to happiness and choosing happiness. And I'll see you on the next episode, bright and early Monday morning, with another episode of Talk to Your Morning Show. Cheers, friends. I'm out. Peace.